What's up, y'all? Catch your word crew. The wait is over. It's time for season 2. You know how we roll. Let's do what we do. Go ahead and take a little break. Warm up your lunch, a little potatoes and steak, because God's got a word that'll give us what we need. Some encouragement, some knowledge, true strength indeed. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. Get with this flow. Don't mess up the vibe. Y'all ready? Y'all set? Let's go! Hey y'all, hey. It is wonderful Wednesday. We are live on YouTube and we are live on Instagram. And so I want you to go ahead and hit that like, hit that love. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button to make sure other people get this word and that you don't miss this word. So what is this word? This is a catch a word. Now, this is our catch a word. We're going to catch a quick word today. I promise I won't be before you long. But y'all, listen, we need to triple the time. Y'all didn't know y'all missed me 2 days in a row? Y'all didn't know? I missed y'all. Y'all didn't miss me. Listen, we had a family emergency, but God is always going to be Godding, and I thank him for who he is. So we are so glad we have seen the strong hand of the Lord help my child who was in distress, and now he is recovering, and God is so faithful. And so we've seen a miracle. And so that's not just the catch a word, but that is catch that word, because God is still able to heal, to deliver, to set free, to do everything that he has promised us to do. Okay, y'all ready? So let's catch this word. We got a quick word today because God is so good. Hey, y'all. Yes, I miss you too, to Shayla. I love you. Thank you so much for the encouragement. Y'all, listen, y'all that have been encouraging me, sending me messages like, hey, we didn't catch a word today. I love y'all. I really do. And God knows that is what keeps me going. Lord, I got to be obedient. So we've got a word today, Lord. Look, the word the Lord dropped in my spirit today is right here. Bam. We're going to talk about God-assigned resources. God-assigned resources. And so remember, in this season, he is teaching us. He's talking about it. He's directing us to use the tools that we have so that we can do what he's called us to do. Okay. And so he has assigned resources for us. And that is what we'll be talking about today. God assigned resources. Okay. So today's word is coming from 1 Kings 17 verses 2-6. And this is so familiar. It is one of my favorite scriptures. But we're going to go through this word and we're going to catch this quick word today as well. Okay. So first, Kings 17, 2-6. I'm going to read the New Living Translation. And so it reads, Then the Lord said to Elijah, Go to the east and hide by Kerith Brook, near where it enters the Jordan River. Drink from the brook and eat what the ravens bring you, for I have commanded them to bring you food. So Elijah did as the Lord told him and camped beside Kerith Brook, east of the Jordan. The ravens brought him bread and meat each morning and evening, and he drank from the brook. I'm going to stop there because God is going to do something with verse 7 tomorrow, and I don't even want to jump into that word just yet. But we got verses 2-6, 1 Kings 17, 2-6. So what has happened? If you go back to verse 1, Elijah, the man of God, the prophet of God, has told this big king, King Ahab, listen, God is ordaining a drought to hit the land. This is a God-ordained drought. This ain't an attack of the devil. This is a God-ordained drought to hit the land. Like all of y'all are going to realize that God is the true and living God, okay? This is a God-ordained drought. And so he tells this man that. Now, if I'm Elijah, I'm tripping a little, okay? God, I got to tell these people that it's a drought. That means I'm going to be in a drought too? What? You calling me to a dry season right now, God? Come on now, because sometimes we don't want it to rain on the just and the unjust. We just really want it to rain on the unjust, right? But we live in this land too. It's going to rain on us. We're going to feel the heat from the sun just as unbelievers feel the heat from the sun. But because we are believers in God, we do have a promise that He's always going to sustain us. He's always going to give us what we need. And so if I'm Elijah, that's what I'm holding on to. The fact that God is always going to give me what I need. He's always going to bring purpose out of my situation. So he tells him, hey, go ahead to the brook. Because he says after the drought, the Lord speaks now to Elijah. And he doesn't tell Elijah, go tell Ahab this. This is only for you. There are some promises, there are some directions that God is only going to give to his chosen ones, to the believers. Okay? There are only some directions he's going to give us. Why? Because he's Jehovah Jireh. He's going to point us in the direction of his provision. So he says, Elijah, go to the east and listen. And I want you in this season to hide. Don't tell anybody what you got going on. That's a word for somebody out there. Stop telling everybody what you got going on, okay? I want you to go and hide, meaning seclude yourself away from other people. They don't need to know what I'm doing in your life. Hey, Mom, she's on too. They don't need to know what I'm doing in your life in this season. I want you to go and hide. And he says, drink from the brook and eat what the ravens bring you. I love this. For I have commanded them to bring you food. Listen, y'all don't know when to shout. He has commanded the ravens to bring Elijah what he needs, where he has been assigned to go. So when we're talking about God-assigned resources, the ravens now have become a God-assigned resource. What they are bringing Elijah becomes a God-assigned resource. Why? Because God has caused a drought on the land. And because he's the sustainer of all life, and because he has a purpose for Elijah, he is not going to just cause Elijah to go through a drought, a dry season without provision. That's for somebody out there, including myself. He is not going to allow you to walk in obedience in a dry season and not have what you need. God is going to provide what you need when you need it. All you've got to do is hear his voice and go to the place that he has told you to go. He told Elijah, look, if you stay here, the ravens ain't going to bring the food here. The ravens are going to bring the food to the place of hiding that I have told you to go, because this provision isn't for everybody. This is something special that I have done just for you, my child. Because you have been obedient, because I have a great calling on your life, I have a provision just for you, my child. And I have commanded the ravens. Normally, ravens are scavengers. They gonna go get food for themselves. They gonna pick and eat it. They don't bring you food. They might take food from you. The Lord said, I have reversed some things. I have caused the ravens to obey my command, and they will be a blessing to you. That is for somebody out there. That thing that you have never thought it to be a blessing or could be a blessing in your life. God is causing that thing to now bless you and bring the provision that he has already prepared for you. He said, I have commanded. And listen, all of creation listens to God. We are the only ones that second guess what God is telling us to do. Creation, even the waves obey him, right? Creation obeys. So the ravens know that they have an assignment. In this season, they have an assignment. And so Elijah listens to God. He goes where the Lord told him to go, and he camps by the brook east of the Jordan. And I can only imagine Elijah going in faith, not really knowing, is God really going to come through? I know he said for me to do this, but is he really going to come through like he said he was? Any of us go through that season? I heard him. And I said what he told me to say, and he's given me in additional instructions, and I have done what he's told me to do. Now, is he really going to provide? That waiting period before the ravens actually bring the food and confirm your faith and trust in God, and your faith that you have heard God and you believe God's word, that waiting period in there is a tricky little period, y'all. It will mess with your faith if your faith is not strong. That's why you got to keep catching these words. Okay, keep catching these words. For me, I got to keep giving these words because I'm speaking life into my own self. That little waiting period, we've got to continue to trust God. Even while we're waiting at the brook, we got to trust God. God, you told me to come here, and you told me that ravens are going to come. Remind him of his word. God is not offended by us reminding him of his word. Remind him of his word. God, you told me to do this, this, and that. And God, I'm standing on your word. And Lord, I know that you are a God that never, your word does not return to you void. And I know that you're going to accomplish the task and the purpose that you have set out for it to accomplish. So God, give me the patience to wait as you do what you do best. Can that be our prayer? God, give me the patience to wait as you do what you do best, because I believe. Can somebody type that in there? Because I believe. I believe God. I believe God. Let that be your declaration today. I believe God. It might not look good. I know everything around me is dried up, but God, you are placing me in a place that is flourishing, where I can thrive, not only survive, I can thrive in this area. Lord, you are going to give me exactly what I need. And so he obeys God and he camps beside Kerith Brook. When it says he camps, that means he's set up himself there. He's established himself there. Okay. In faith, I'm going to go and set this thing up because I know God told me to do it. And what does it say? The ravens brought him bread and meat, more than enough. Can we say that? The ravens brought him more than enough. They brought him what he needed in the morning and what he needed at night to sustain him through the night. They brought him bread and meat each morning and evening, and he drank from the brook. So while there's a drought in the land, in the brook that God has placed me, there is no drought. I'm going to drink from the brook. Some of us get so picky in that season and we're like, well, God, why I got to eat that? I don't really like that meat. I don't really like this bread. God is telling you, I have commanded the ravens to give you what you need. You need to accept it. What has God given you in this season that you have second guessed? That maybe God didn't give me this. I don't really like how it's packaged. Oh, Raven is bringing it to me. I wanted it on a plate. Are we being too picky with the provision that God has given us? We need to be thankful. Okay. Take that provision and say thanks, give thanks to God, and eat and drink what he has provided for you to eat and drink. Listen, the Lord keeps reminding me that he is the sustainer of life. And so Isaiah 46:4 says, I will be your God throughout your lifetime until your hair is white with age. Ooh, I love that. I made you and I will care for you. I will carry you along and save you. That is Isaiah 46:4. Listen, I love that he says, I'm going to be your God throughout your entire life. This isn't a seasonal thing. Until gray hair is on your head, I will be your God. He says, I made you. I will care for you. I will carry you. Sometimes we get so tired and so downtrodden and we can't lift one foot in front of the other. He says, in those moments that I will carry you, I will save you. He will rescue us. That's the kind of God we serve, y'all. We serve a good and caring God. And so when things get tough, trust me, when things get tight and you're like, God, I don't know where this next resource is coming. I don't know where this next thing is coming. Just know that God is the sustainer. And he is going to direct us in the place of provision. So if you have heard from God, right? You know you've heard from God in this season. You just need to wait. Camp, get your camp ready, set it up, set up your camp out, and get ready for God to manifest the provision, because he's directed you to a place where he's already provided. A plan is already in place. Be confident in that, because we serve the sustainer of life. He made you, he will carry you, he will save you. I hope that word is an encouragement for somebody other than myself today. Listen, y'all, I be catching these words too now. I catch these words. And so I want it to be an encouragement to you. Don't just let it be an encouragement to you. share this word. Okay, share it with somebody else. On Instagram, it's gonna go bye-bye. But guess what? You can go to YouTube, humanitarian on YouTube. You can catch not only this word, but you can catch some other words that you have missed and share them with somebody else. Hit that subscribe button again so you don't miss any single word. Okay, and let God continue to provide and sustain your life. All right. I want y'all to be encouraged. Let's pray for one another because God is doing a thing. He's doing a thing. And let's go ahead and pray for one another because the enemy is going to attack. As we keep trying to catch these words, the enemy is going to attack, but he's always a liar and he's always defeated. And so we are more than conquerors through Jesus Christ. And we're going to be the victors in the end. We are already the victors. The battle has already been won. All right. So share this word. Listen, you're going to see me tomorrow. We're going to catch this word tomorrow. But again, go on Humanitarian, YouTube, Humanitarian. If you have missed any of the catch of words, go ahead, subscribe. Watch those words. It will be a blessing to your life, y'all. Listen, I love y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. And guess when y'all will see me? Tomorrow. You'll see me tomorrow. All right. Love y'all. Bye-bye.